Boundless Strike. He's gonna mess you up.
Plus, the matchup is not a normal SF matchup. It's an SF plus
souls.
Clockwork, so he's going to be running into lane with
I think you should,
a ton of souls.
I think you should definitely go mid. Not to call out Brian or anything. Brian's a good guy. I love Brian. But when he was saying that,
But you're wrong, Brian. You hear that?
I was like,
you're a piece of shit.
There's zero chance. Because I'm thinking about what. So my experience with Timbersaw is we have, like, in my opinion, one of the best Timbers on our team, right, Boxy?
Uh-huh.
I think the last 2 majors, it has been a first 3 ban, even when it wasn't in the meta, against our team nonstop. And the 2 times we got it, we won. So if I'm thinking about what Boxy would say, I think Boxy would say if he was against, like, an SF, he would say SF free lane. Because he'll hit level 3 at similar times, and then he can, like, go cut if he needs to.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to be matched up against the Monkey King. What would Boxy do? WWBD. What would Boxy do against this matchup?
I'm not sure if Boxy would ask for this matchup. I have to imagine there's a point where the lane becomes okay after a bit, but I think in the early going anyways, it's pretty annoying. I wouldn't want to lane into this in the first, like, 10 minutes.
Well, FBZ, he had a pretty good showing on that Pango. He had some really good rolling thunders. He was a great driver of that bus. And here, he's going to be on a hero that is a lot more impactful, I would say, than the Guardian Greaves Pango. He's going to be an actual damage-dealing offlaner. And I look forward to seeing how he does specifically, because we already know that mid-lane matchup, Carl versus Mikoto, like, both those guys show they can carry games. I want somebody else from Boom to show that they can carry games, whether it's Dreamcell or it's FBZ. Toss back here onto Dreamcell's Morphling with level 1 cogs that they use for the souls. Also allows them to be able to catch Dreamcell thanks to that toss.
That is smart. I really like how they set that up. And nice by Mikoto. I mean, he's making this lane work for him, honestly. Despite the disadvantage that he kind of had early on, obviously the Shadow Fiend starting with max souls, he's done a good job of keeping up relatively. You're not going to get a lot of denies in that lane, but so far so good. And
all right, well,
yeah, this bottom lane, and that's the, I guess that's the, I do think it's really cool though that like Brian trying to bring that up, I don't think is a bad thing. It's just a different way of thinking about Dota. But I think the primary difference between, like, Shadow Fiend versus Monkey is, like, Monkey has kill potential on the Timbersaw, like, really, really early on.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the SF needs levels.
And it's an unfair combination.
Yeah.
I loathe this combo.
Lich
Monkey King plus Lich. Honestly,
Yeah.
Lich plus a lot of safe laners, but Monkey King is especially egregious.
And we should bring up why do you specifically hate playing against, like, Lich as an offlaner?
Well, Lich is Frost Blast is broke.
Okay, straight up.
just straight up.
Laying
It's just too much damage.
All right, I like
it's
it.
too much slow. But then on top of that, Frost Shield is an insanely long slow. So he does this amazing blast to you over and over again. It hurts like hell. If he gets to level 2 with some sort of kill combo hero, like Monkey King, Juggernaut, any of those, well, unless you're a Pango, Clockwork, like, unless you specifically have some way to be able to defend yourself, you're just going to die over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I'd like to add one more thing to that. I think if you try to pull the lane, Lich is one of the best heroes in the game because of how long and annoying Frost Blast is.
Yeah. He's going to get a lot of damage.
Yeah, exactly.
On you.
Like, the creeps are actually going to be able to catch up and hit you, like, 10 times.
Yeah. So that's why we had Hyde, who's playing the Pango as a 4 position here. He initially pulled for FBZ. He pulled the creep wave over. They still managed to punish FBZ.
That courier's dead.
Push him away from the creep wave, and as a result, he's still not yet level 3.
They didn't notice it? Oh, I thought that courier was, like, 100% dead. If you're level, like, if you get levels as Timber versus, like, these Ursa and Monkey King matchups, you don't actually care that much.
Yeah.
Like, once you get, like, level 2, level 3 of your reactive, it's not that bad.
Yes.
But the early levels, I think, is like this part of the game is very unpleasant to play. Oh,
and you can tell GeekFam just know how to punish this.
Yeah.
They know if Raven stays a level or 2 above, like, even if he does have level 3 now at this point, Monkey King's far enough ahead, he's still going to punish you. Turn around, Mikoto. Both Carl and Mikoto getting quite low here. Carl's going to go for one last race, but it's just barely out of range.
That would have been the killer.
He only had the midway raise ready to go.
Would have been the killer. He's going to get that creep denied, too. Oh,
Yeah.
that is a lazy CS. I've done that. That's the mid player, like, he's not going to... He's out of lane.
Yeah.
Trust me. Personal experience here.
You got to watch out for these killers in the mid lane. They do not get lazy.
Yeah, Makoto's doing very well, considering... but we already knew, like, not to, like, sing his praises even more. Like, we know he's a good laner.
Yeah.
But can he do more? We shall find out.
Another Zephyr Tiny showing up. He did great work in game 1, and he's trying to dominate this laning phase, and he will find another kill for GeekFam, this time onto Hyde.
So tri-laning is one thing, Cap.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you're tri-laning like this, if you don't give up kills, it feels fine. But if you give up kills, you're essentially, like, you're making it all worth it.
Yes.
This amount of kills, I think they've, this is their 4th kill now in this bottom lane. You're making the safe laner's life, like, pretty good. Like, he doesn't care.
I think a relatively good metric is if the supports stay within a level of the core, then the tri-lane's worth it.
I like that too. Plus, they're about to get all 4 bounty runes. Yeah, they've gotten 3, and they're going to leave the SF the last one. They got 4 bounty runes for that too. So their tri-lane has been, you know, wildly successful. They're the Beatles of tri-lanes.
Yeah. I think FBZ and Hyde, they're not doing... Like, this is a lane, conceivably, you could have figured something else better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Hyde, when he pulled the creep wave, I think he should have ran it back and stacked it.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I think he should have doubled or tripled the wave up.
Oh, and they're going to get a kill on mid. This is 100% death.
I mean, when you've won the tri-lane this hard, you no longer have to show all the time. So rotations into the mid lane become really easy.
This is where de-warding becomes, and warding becomes very important for Dire. Because now you're just afraid at all times of where this Tiny could potentially be. And it's not like you're winning the safe lane either, is the problematic part. Like, the supports on GeekFam are being incredibly efficient.
Oh, the Boundless Strike caught him before he could get over that little cliff area.
This is insane.
As a result, he very easily dies. And Hyde, who doesn't have Swashbuckle up for another 2 seconds, is probably going to die as well. Tries to juke around the trees and does relatively well. But this is now a level 6 Monkey King.
This is getting absurd at this point.
Yeah.
Because the clock is doing fine. Look at his net worth, Cap. He's actually 2nd in the game. He's higher than the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I don't know how he managed to do that. Toss back. Well, maybe this is why he's managed to do it. These ganks onto the mid lane. Makoto is going to be able to find another opening here onto Carl. Kezcute is the one to pick up the CS.
He's out of mana on Cuckoo.
Cuckoo did TP in to try and get a trade-off here, but failed to find a good cogs opening.
Could have potentially done it if he had the mana, but unfortunately didn't.
But he'll just walk up to top lane. Nothing terribly lost for Cuckoo, because as you said, 2nd in net worth. Another hero that's benefited from that Ring of Tarask.
We'll say that move, they really needed to make it. If there's a player that you want to set up for success, it's probably Makoto.
Yeah.
Because right now, other lanes not going super hot. And we just talked about the prevalence of, like, how important it is that the warding situation goes right, and they immediately lose an Obzord. They do get vision down for themselves in D-ward, so good job by Kezcute, but you need to keep that up. The warding game is how you come back into losing positions. I cannot stress this enough.
Why is that?
Because you need to be able to play around, like, when you have a hero like Tiny or Earthshaker or something along those lines, you need to be able to play around vision and allow your team to, like, your team can't just pretend as though they're there at all times. That is a really toxic way to play Dota. You can't just assume, Tiny's bottom, so I can't do anything, and then he's ganking mid, you know?
Right.
Then you've kind of lost the game.
And the engagements you do take probably have to be a numbers advantage. Nice execution in the top lane. That was a hook shot, cogs pushback into double raise. Long raise, then medium raise, thanks to the pushback from the cogs. That was really sick combo.
Yeah. Did Pop-Tart catch that? Pop-Tart, I can see you from here. He's shaking. He's saying no. That's our observer, by the way, Pop-Tart, David. Very good observer.
He's done a great job.
Yes, it's late for him.
But, you know, sometimes not everyone can hit every
You know, I'm about to hit up one of the Davids right now, get a new obs. Where's Averson at? I know Steven needs the work, Pop-Tart, so you're going to need to step up.
Somebody's got to take him away from Path of Exile. FBZ taking the tower, trying to get those reactive armor stacks up. Now that he's level 5, he is...
he's okay now.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's
level
kinda
3,
stabilized.
high-level heroes can still beat you out, but level 5 and level 7, this is where Timbersaw goes back to
could
untouchable.
potentially die.
Yeah, if he keeps getting this low.
Oh, okay. So Makoto's down here now, so they're baiting this nicely. I like this.
I feel like it's almost too obvious of a bait, though.
Yeah, I think so too. He cut in front of the tower.
Yeah.
When he's died the last like 6 times doing that, and Tiny showing mid.
Like, we say, like, okay, level 5, you're good now. But nobody who's died this many times and has this bad of a laning phase plays that confidently.
Yeah.
Even if you have total understanding of your hero,
okay. So
you're
now,
just gonna feel
now
bad.
you got to run at bottom because he missed up
Nice
the combo.
avalanche.
Oh, okay. He stopped him in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So this is what I was saying about how FBZ has to be careful because as soon as they see that the Kunkka has returned mid, they are gonna immediately make a move on him.
Now, he is going to be tanky enough to survive through these initial Jingu hits, so he's going to be fine initially, and he's going to try and run back a little bit, but these supports are very low level as well. So while Timbersaw has suffered in his lane, it's not like the supports got the better of this engagement. They are both a ways away from level 6, and there's only one tome to be given.
Yes, sir. Hyde is level 4. Still really good game overall for GeekFam. I think this Clockwork is doing too well in this lane. You know what I really love, by the way?
Very high on the net worth progression compared to the average.
I really love, it's a neat stat by them. Also, what were the stats for this game? I saw it was like 1.8 to like 1. It was still really close odds-wise.
Oh, the odds? Yeah, I don't remember.
Did we shout those out? If not, we just did. I believe it was like 1.8 to 1.8.
Yeah, we'll see it in another 9 minutes. We'll see an update on those odds. ESL looking to be rushing potentially an E-Blade he's got queued up, or maybe he'll just go the more normal Yasha.
I think right now, though, I favor GeekFam, if that's a bold statement to make. You know, I've made a lot of those today to you in private, but I think GeekFam is currently in the lead by quite a bit.
Yeah, would you say they're in the lead by about 3,000?
Yeah. Yes.
Or possibly a 9-1 lead of some sort?
Yes.
Well, we saw, thanks to Pop-Tart, the win probability 75% right now for GeekFam. In the first 11 minutes of the game, that's
pretty accurate.
Yeah,
and
I
I
think that's good?
I think this, something I wanted to point out, by the way, before I forget, I really like kills that I don't think will work that end up working. For example, you know, like, Cuckoo goes up there, they try to kill Morphling, and it works. Like, I would have personally never thought of that. Because in my pub games, me and my offlane really coordinating well enough to do that? Like,
no,
is that
you
worth
guys
my
are going to bungle the hell out of that kill.
And then, like, I'm just going to be mad. But, like, that's the biggest difference I feel like from, like, top-level pro games is, like, you can say that and try to go for those kinds of plays, and you know everyone is trying to make the same play.
It's like your 4-bait-1 play.
Yeah.
Where it says, like, people are working together right now, and they're on point, and they're going to build that confidence with each success that they have.
Yes. And this is good success so far for them. I like it. I likes it a lot.
Well, Makoto, he's just going to be sit back and farming, and you know ESL, he needs to do the same. Yeah. You've got an off-lane Timbersaw who can't really pressure, like he can pressure one lane at a time, but he's not going to be running around and getting kills. So Boom are probably going to be sitting on this 1 kill or 2 kill metric for a little while.
They really like putting ESL on these, like, I almost feel like they treat him like the backup. Do you know what I mean? Like, if something goes wrong with Makoto, at least, oh, look at that sidestep. This is what I'm talking about, man.
Cuckoo.
They're not going to kill him, but it's sick. Like,
he got the hook shot thanks to the sidestep there from Carl, opening a gap to allow the hook shot to land. Unfortunately, he didn't get a Cogs pushback or something. Carl, he's going to lead with the fear onto the Morphling. That is an idealistic kill. It actually paid off.
It worked.
That is twice now that Carl has made a call.
Carl's like, don't worry. This guy, he's dying.
Like,
and
how do you
you
just straight up trust that he's not going to hit more strength before the fear hits him?
Yes, that is essentially what he just did.
And you're going to trust that Zephyr actually gets the toss on the Morphling and not like one of the creeps or something?
Dude, they are abusing the hell out of this Morphling. I feel like Dream, in the past like 4 games that I've seen him, has just been like getting picked on. And it's working. I mean, he's not really making it that difficult for them, if I'm honest.
Smoke up time. It is.
His
It's
E-Blade,
time to
though,
make use of Makoto and Kezcute's combo.
Yeah.
And it would be a massive kill if they got Raven. He's at 6,600 net worth. He's currently 4-0-2, so he's got a
Oh, he jumped
dominating
down?
spree.
Okay.
He's level 10 as well, so this would be worth a lot. The smoke breaks, but they don't have a way to tell immediately what tree he's in.
It's a nice guess by Makoto. You got to go for it at that point, but unable to grab him. And this is going to be even more time wasted. Not, I don't know. It's just kind of a rough position for them, and they're not really making life that much easier, I'd say.
Yeah.
They do have some pretty good timings. Like, I do think that GeekFam are going to kind of be hard-pressed to kill this Timbersaw, for example. This guy's dead. See ya.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. I thought he was going to go for the stylish, like, double raise, and he's like, I actually clicked for 200. There's no need to do these things. As Raven does not contest for that rune. I think smartly so. I think if Pingo pops his ult there, you're dead. So they are going to get some bounty runes out of this. Not the worst thing in the world. They need a Spirit Vessel really bad. If Clock has Spirit Vessel, I think the game is just straight up done. Because the Morphling's not going to have a defensive item, and they don't have a save for him. Let me say, Spirit Vessel is like the best counter to Morphling. It feels so good to buy. But they do need to pick up some charges somehow.
Yeah, they need to find a kill here, and they just tried it to Hyde.
I see this thing that Thompson does when he plays like Void Spirit. Whenever he sees like these cores, you know, like these Timber Saws, or especially against Morphling, he just immediately picks up Spirit Vessel.
Yep.
And then he just pressures. And all of a sudden, it's a solo kill every time you find one of these heroes. You turn Morphling's best strength against him. You know, no pun intended.
And even if you don't kill him, just the act of having it and having that power changes the way he's going to farm, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Are they going to kill Dream again? No way.
They don't have the hook shot. No, they're going to find their opening instead into the Ancient Apparition. That's probably going to give Dreamacell the heads up that he needs to morph to strength and be ready to waveform away, which he does.
He wasn't actually close enough.
Puts himself in the front lines, but he did not anticipate that there was going to be so much magic damage coming in.
Nope. And now he wasn't close enough for the AA kill on the Spirit Vessel charges, but now he 100% is. He's got some charges to work with. Makoto's just going to lay out Torrent just to see if that can happen. And they might even find a two-man hook shot here if he's lucky.
This would be a nice toss back high. Doesn't have Swashbuckle to get away now. Makoto, he's going to get the combination onto Zephyr here, but really nicely placed cogs there from
Such a good
Cuckoo.
pushback.
Really protecting Zephyr as he's pulled back into the Torrent, which lands onto him. 14-1 as GeekFam continue this tear.
They have damage problems right now on the side of Boom. Like, the AI Ice Blast is supposed to make up for that problem. But
they're going to use that Ice Blast. They will manage to get that killing spree off of Zephyr. But are they going to lose this fight for it? Cuckoo managed to push back FBZ with the cogs. He does jump away to the side here thanks to the Timber
This looks okay
chain.
for them right now.
Yeah, if they can catch anybody with X marks the spot, it would be massive. But sadly, all of GeekFam do manage to retreat once again. Something about their shot calling, really smart whenever it comes to retreating.
Yeah.
It's always very clean.
Yes, I think so too. They're okay with giving up heroes, and I think that is a big criticism that I had for them actually the other day, and a big criticism I have for a lot of C teams. Like, C teams, they must all just be like brothers or something, you know, because for whatever reason they just refuse to let each other die. It's, you know, it's lovely. But in Dota, you gotta be willing to just say see ya, you know?
You got a no man left behind.
Yeah, in Southeast Asia, it's almost like, you know, the pub scene can be so toxic, so they're like, you know what, we're on team together, we'll change that. We'll work together at all times. So you just see dudes, like, go in even in unsavable situations, and I think GeekFam is very good about just cutting their losses.
You know, I think you're onto something there. With the, that's a hook shot that's going to be able to find Kezcute, thanks to the illusions that Cuckoo had placed out, given in the vision. But Boom quickly turned things around. You cannot play this way anymore if you're GeekFam. You're far enough ahead that it's not worth it to get these trade-off kills.
No, not at all. And what were you going to say?
That the pub games, they're toxic enough. Because, you know, like that's a really great way to build camaraderie, is if you just go through hell together.
Yeah, and then you know what you say? You want to play with your team over playing pubs at that point. So you're like, dude, my pubs suck.
Okay,
Then you're excited to play with your team.
So why does NA have a terrible competitive scene?
Just probably not enough like
Because
things
we
for
have
them
terrible
to play.
pubs.
Yeah, it's probably just not enough things to play, if I'm honest. Like C
Fair.
still has these like random cups. Like you have like these ESL India cups, ESL like cups, like these random Mineski events and stuff. They're like still tournament organizers that are like putting stuff together, and that's like what you need to foster a scene, right? No matter. That's why like the NBA D League matters so much. Oh, hold that thought.
They do manage to get jump, but just like the last 2 times they've tried it, this third one is not going to go any better. They jump in, they get a kill on a hero like Ancient Apparition, which they easily can burst, but the trade-off's not really worth it. But the team fight might be, especially if they can kill FBZ, but it gets over to the other side of the cliff. He's going to be fine, though a little worse for wear.
SF's
Thanks
dead.
to the health not going off. The X is going to pull
Oh,
back Carl.
he missed.
Raven does protect him with Wukong's command. A shot comes out from the Morphling, revealing that E-Blade that he now has, but it certainly was not enough to get the kill on a Cuckoo.
They knew about it beforehand. The tiny got Heatblade comboed.
Yeah, that's true.
He got blown up. Surprised he didn't commit the SF ult. Maybe he just thought he wasn't close enough and it wouldn't lead to the kill on the Timber. I think there was like a, if you asked me for a hard number, I'd say like 20% chance that could have worked.
Yeah, I mean, they had Spirit Vessel on him.
Yeah.
Any disable, I think, could have done the trick.
Because then they would have jumped him into the wall and maybe to get the kill.
Yeah.
As they're looking for an opportunity, but I think Zephyr is not respecting his life enough.
Yes.
I think I would prefer the clock jumping in and Zephyr, because I think once clock goes in once or twice, he's dead, like off of the first hook shot. As we're gonna see the odds, GeekFam is, I think those are a little bit skewed.
Yeah, because they're only up by 3K right now.
Yeah, I think it's closer. It's at like 1 to 5, right? I think it's probably closer to like 1 to 4.
Dreamocells done an admirable job of catching back up.
Yeah.
He's almost tied with the Monkey King now. And Makoto, who's been focused a lot on farming and not so much on going for these pickoffs, he's also done an okay job catching up. So
yeah, and if you have damage issues on the side of GeekFam, which I do think they have, there's a lot of mitigation on the side of Boom.
yeah. You no longer have damage. So you said Boom has damage issues, but now that the Morphling is online, in a way, right? Those damage issues have kind of gone away.
Yeah, that's why both teams, if you notice, when they have these skirmishes, like in a lot of, if you don't have damage problems, a lot of people die.
Yes. Instead, it's a 1-for-1
yeah, it's
trade
always like
every
a
time.
1-for-1, like a support dies for support, and then everybody else lives.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think that benefits, Radiant. But I don't know. This Morph's getting kind of big, Cap, and
Yeah, they just got a tier 2 as well. But the trade-off is Roshan.
this is a very good Roche for them to take.
Yeah, the Ice Blast was used to scout out
All
bottom.
right, I'm calling
so
it. I think GeekFam are losing this game.
Okay, even as they claim the Aegis and a BKB is picked up for Raven.
Oh, I lied. He
Blitz
got
has
BKB.
said-
Swerve. Remix.
He did not go Echo Saber. He rushed a Fusel, which I liked, and then I thought maybe he would go back for Echo Saber, but he said, no, I'm going to, I know that we're really strong right now. If I just get the team fight winning item in BKB, we can run at them.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Okay, let me explain why I think GeekFam are going to lose. Because I think their initiation is not my favorite. Whereas, like, Boom gets to sit back. I think X is so good. Like, X marks the spot as an ability.
Yeah, that's
it's
a
like
broken ability.
It's
for
a free
sure.
initiation. Like, whenever GeekFam has to initiate, they have to, like, throw their bodies in and potentially die for it. And Boom does not have that issue, I would say. So, like,
Zephyr.
watch this.
The
There's
smoke
Tiny is
breaks,
dead.
and they are just going to force the issue here. Now, Raven jumps to the back line, does manage to execute Kezcute very quickly. Makoto has the Spirit Vessel on him and won't be able to protect himself from this Cogs combination with the SF Ultimate. The boat actually does a decent job of mitigating the damage. Can he actually get out of all of this? He's so damn tanky, but Raven's going to catch up to him eventually, and that should do the trick. Now, Kezcute, who bought back for all of this, about to strike as Dreamocell shows up to the fight. That was beautiful. Turns into the Monkey King and uses the Bound to Strike against him. And just like that, Blitz, your prediction could be right here, as they're just going to be able to get the kill on Cuckoo as well. 19-8, and a score that was once 14-1. That gold lead that GeekFam had has now dwindled to only 2,000.
Yeah. So you saw what I meant right there, right? Almost immediately. Whenever they have to initiate, somebody dies for it. That's not an ideal... and it's because they have damage issues, so somebody has to go in, but it's not that favorable, as Shadow Fiend's gonna not have ulti. He might just do a hit just to hit him, but I think Hyde should be fine. Whereas like for Boom, they get to just chill. Boom ID can just wait back. Like you see, the Tiny had already, you missed it, but the Tiny already died. Wait, this
This
plays
is
ult.
the fear that he doesn't use.
Yeah, this plays ult, but you saw right there, like Tiny goes in, dies. Maybe they get a kill, but then X Torrent is still like, it's just better initiation. Because GeekFam's lineup relies on like hard initiating, and they don't have these escape abilities like they did in their previous game. Like when this SF goes in, like he's hard committed. When Monkey goes in, there's no out for him, and I think that actually benefits Boom ID's lineup more than it does GeekFam's. And I don't know what damage item they go at this point to like kind of offset that. Like I don't think there is one, is what I'm saying.
Is part of that the fact that Boom also outscales them? So in a way, because you have to trade to initiate fights and because you have to fully commit, one bad fight, and like all of a sudden the Morphling starts becoming a bigger and bigger problem, and he takes over the game.
I think DreamOCell is actually playing this really well. He's chilling back. He's not allowing himself to get jumped on by the Clock Tiny. And again, if your initiation is all coming from the Clock Tiny, and like you can Spirit Vessel him, but if you don't have the follow-up damage from the SF and the Monkey, he's probably just going to walk away.
Yeah.
And he resets the fight. And now he's got Manta, so that's even harder. So your primary initiator that carries around the Spirit Vessel will just die, and then he's not going to be able to get the second charge off onto the Monkey King, or onto the Morphling. That's a real big problem.
And GeekFam, they're smart enough to be able to read this game, even though they don't have all the metrics that we do. They're good enough at the game to know that they're probably in a bit of trouble. They need to keep up the pace.
Yeah, even though they're ahead in gold, they probably don't feel that way in game. Because you go by the latest fight, and the latest fight metrics say they're not winning team fights.
Yeah, when you look at any lineup that has a better hard carry, and then you've lost the last team fight, there's always that feel that losing to more. Okay, Raven does manage to get down to the right-hand side. Cuckoo makes his initiation and quickly kills the Ancient Apparition. Really important part of the team fight, especially since he hasn't died just yet. But between the Rolling Thunder and the Timbersaw cutting him down, Cuckoo becomes rather squishy. Now Zephyr has been caught inside the river. It looks like he may be dying as well, but this Chain Frost is doing a lot of damage. Not enough for Carl to feel confident enough to force this. He's going to be caught by the X, but Raven is going to protect him with the Cuckoo. He does manage to get the Boundless Strike, hitting onto 3. The Wukong's command doesn't do enough damage, though, onto Makoto. He pops the BKB and walks away.
Yep, that further proves the point that without their initiators, like, their lineup's nothing, and their initiators don't survive. Like, you see the Tiny goes in, any single time he goes in, he just dies. So what needs to happen, Cap, is I actually think it's complicated because you need the Tiny in fights, because he's more stuns than the Clockwork is, simply put.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to get his combo off, like, 3 times for them to be able to win a fight. But with that being said, I also think the Clockwork, you need him for the Spirit Vessel, otherwise you can't kill Kunkka and
Hyde, 1-2 raise combo. Doesn't catch him.
I think he actually might have hit that, but
yeah, he hit the second raise, but not enough to kill.
No. So yeah, I think GeekFam might lose this game.
Is there an item that they can get? Because it seems like control is an issue.
Yes, control.
Can anybody get an item that helps with that?
So the reason why I think the game's really hard is because when you have 2 issues at once, then the game becomes complicated. Normally, if it's like simply they need a Hex, okay, straightforward, like get a Hex then. But it feels like they lack damage and they lack initiation, which I don't know how both of their cores solve for that problem. I guess you could go Abyssal on Monkey King.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or, as you said, the side pickup for Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, it would have to be like that for this to work out at this point. Like, I think Shadow Fiend...
Oh, no, he doesn't have any disable. He has to watch 3 people TP away from him.
Yeah, it is a problem. It is a big problem. And you can see that Raven's going for an SNY, but I actually think he needs an Abyssal.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the boat is the best when you don't have any instant burst abilities, and the only instant burst they have is like the Shadow Fiend walking melee range and popping his ulti on somebody. Right? So boat at this point, it means that all your cores will get BKB or their spells off. And that's a pretty big advantage in a game like this, I would say.
Well, Carl is still swaggering around like he doesn't care about anybody.
He's got BKB.
He just walks with confidence everywhere he goes, and he's going to be able to take that tier 2 top as a result.
They don't have TP cancels on the side of Boom yet.
Yeah. Is there a point that SF can get to where he outcarries Morphling? Like just a raw, like dataless MKB right-clicking build?
I'm trying to think about like what he has already versus like what the Morph has, and I don't think so. Because it's not that easy, right? It's, again, I think their core matchups are okay-ish. I think it has more to do with like what heroes I see on the other side of things.
Right.
Oh, he's not going to pick up the DD.
Yeah, that's a problem, because now Makoto, he'll
Cuckoo,
take that
he's
DD
dead.
and turn that damage around on Cuckoo, but he does manage to get a hook shot onto his ally, but FBC is still trying to hunt him down here. If he gets close enough, the Yules will spell the death to Cuckoo. Just slides past him, though, the Glimmer Cape helping to protect him. Now FBC,
man.
he's gone way
All
too
right.
far. He does manage to Yules Timber Chain himself out of there, though. Oh, Kesku, he gets him a 4-staff. There is the Chain Frost, the Essence Ring going off. FBC, Timber Chain to the other side of the cliff, and he's okay.
Damage initiation issues.
Zephyr comes out, Avalanche, and self-Yules. Didn't mean to do that one.
All right, so if you can't kill the Timber when he's Spirit Vesseled into your like tier 2 tower with 5 heroes surrounding him,
Yeah.
then you probably are going to have a somewhat rough time winning this game.
Yeah. Are we in a desperate enough situation, like Divine Rapier SF? Go.
When's the next Aegis coming up? I could see that actually being potential way.
Yeah, like just do it Medusa style. We get the next Roshan, we get that Aegis, get a Divine.
Yeah, the only scary part is SF is no
Ooh.
Dusa.
Yeah.
But what talents did he go, by the way, on Shadow Fiend? Can we hover over that, David?
He went the damage per soul.
Okay.
So
then
that's where I was asking, like, a
Yeah.
right-click kind
I
of
could
build.
see that work. Potentially. Potentially.
Lead off with the Torrent. That is one way to get it disabled through the
wanna force the
BKB,
BKB?
but he is going to hold on to it as long as possible because he does have the Silver Edge coming up. Do they have any vision? They have a Sentry. They're going to lay it out now. Carl,
Oh, he gets
runs
it.
away for that Sentry. They do manage to land the Torrent, but they don't see him. He's still scared enough. He's going to pop the BKB, teleport away, and that Ice Blast will not kill him.
If he got hit like 2 more times, I could see him dying there. Oh, that was scary. I bet that was like a...
Yeah.
If the Morph was there hitting on him, he would have died. Okay, so this Roshan is massive for GeekFam. I think... So they have actually grown their lead
Yeah.
during that time. And that's just because their supports are so damn poor. But I think if they get this Aegis, this game is pretty easy for Boom. Like, Dream should be able to carry from this position with an Aegis.
Zephyr, it's a good time to go in. Roshan's getting very low. Can he get in there at just the right moment? He jumps instead onto the Pangolier just outside of the pit, and Raven makes his introduction to team fight with the BKB, but he's quickly finding that the damage from Dream of Cell is too much. He stays inside the Wukong's command, now breaks it as he needs to be able to jump away to the trees, but FBC is right there. Oh, he cut down the trees, but he didn't quite get the one tree that he was standing on. Still, though, they catch him with the Eul's Scepter, and Raven will fall. Next up, Cuckoo, caught by the slow of that lucky shot. Zephyr goes back into the initiation and kills Hyde. Very nicely placed Avalanche, stunning 3. The Torrent onto Carl. He still has his BKB and Dream of Cells rather low. With a Spirit Vessel on him, he pops a Manta to remove it. He's going to be good for now. Carl,
Oh, he's going to use his cheese so they can continue to fight. Don't do that. Don't do that.
not worth it. Not worth it, right?
Yeah, you're going to heal. Please don't do that.
You have Paladin Sword, so you've got lifesteal.
Yeah.
Take a look at the replay of that team fight. It was a perfect time for Zephyr to jump in if he went into the pit, but
Yes.
sadly, he was just trying to find the fast kill onto the Pango.
You can see Raven right now. Like, you just kind of gets hit. He's going Deso, but again, it's the... oh, look at that. One tree. Didn't end up mattering, but it's the classic problem of I need to build 2 things at once
Yeah.
to be able to win. It's like he needs the Deso for damage. He's prioritizing the damage over the disable problem that we talked about.
Oh, they actually spotted Zephyr, but not before KezQ is killed. Now they're going to be able to get the X on Zephyr. He's going to be pulled back to his
This has
doom.
been like the trade
Yeah.
every single time in this game, by the way.
Dude, KezQ has been spending his half of his game sitting back in his chair, hands off his keyboard and mouse, and just saying, worth.
Yeah, KezQ dies, either Cuckoo or Zephyr dies, and he's just like, all right, well,
Like,
that's my life.
like, I'd be laughing so hard here. I was like, I've got a 4-step. I don't even have upgraded boots. Like, why do you guys care?
Meanwhile, they need the Tiny. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
I actually think Zephyr is the make or break hero for them, which is not good, let me say.
And what's funny is, like, in the downtimes, GeekFam have grown their lead, which really says to me, like, if they hadn't been going for these kills, they could have just grown, like, a 15K gold lead, second Roshan, and with that, maybe they could take to this Morphling. But sadly, only up by 2,000 net worth, and their base is being assaulted.
Currently, problem after problem after problem. Like, Dream just gets to sit back and play this Morphling, and he doesn't care, because neither of the cores pressure him. And that's really what it comes down to, Cap. When you think about, like, late game situations, is, like, how do the cores match up? More than, like, who is the better late game. It's like, can one core lay out damage easier than another? Do they have disables for each other? Like, Morph hates it when he has these, like, troll-like cores that can just keep hitting him and get on top of him when he commits himself. And Monkey King is kind of that, but I don't know if his item build really allows for that, if I'm honest.
24-12. Even though they've got double the kills, as Splits is pointing out, they will be having some issues as this game continues to progress into the later edges. We have the Butterfly coming up next for this Morphling with level 25 on its way. What's Makoto got? He has Silver Edge now. He's just a big tanky boy. Does a moderate amount of physical damage. But he's just there to do just this. Push in the lane, try and make himself a target, an open space for Hyde, Dreamacell, and KezQ to follow up. It's counter initiation. Nobody chooses to initiate on Makoto, so Dreamacell reveals himself now to start banging on the tier 3. Telling GeekFam, the time is now. We're not going to wait any longer. We still have that Aegis, and we're going to make use of it. The toss back actually hits the illusion. Would have been a good idea, but sadly, execution not quite on point. Lost the 50-50.
Oh,
now the hook shot blocked by Carl.
That's one of their 2 initiations. Oh, no. When you're denying racks, you know life's hard.
Yeah. At this point, it really looks like GeekFam, they feel like they can't take the straight 5-on-5, especially against this Aegis, so they're waiting for a screw-up.
If you look at the gold, and you didn't look at the heroes, you'd be like, oh, 1K elite, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But the problem is they were winning fights when they were down 5K. And Morph just picked up one of the best Morphling items in the game. I don't believe there is an MKB or a Rapier on either of them.
You see that win probability, by the way? It's like this net worth has changed maybe like 4K or something, but you could see the win probability has just steadily gone down.
Honestly, Dota Plus is just they're bandwagoning off what I said.
True.
It's kind of messed up, to be honest.
Oh, Carl forced to use the Satanic to heal up. The Ice Blast does hit him, and he escapes away with that Silver Edge. He's so damn fast. Almost goes max movement speed with it.
All stats things just rip me off, you know?
Yeah. There's nobody else who could possibly have the insight that Blitz Dota does.
I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid.
Desolator is complete for the Monkey King. I mean, if they get to level 25, that is another really big upgrade for Monkey King. Because, like, a lot of the problem has been they've just been walking out.
Yeah.
So if he can actually get to the additional
you know what you
command
actually
ring.
do to win this game? If you go 2 Rapiers on this Monkey King and he plays from the trees and he gets the Boundless Strike crit.
He just Boundless Strike crits people all day.
He didn't get it? He messed up. Then you just play
damage.
I had somebody do that and they played it like a sniper.
Every 22 seconds, he can do something.
But what could they do against that? Oh, well, they're going to try to kill tank his hero again.
Ice Blast is coming in. They're going to try and surround him as best as possible. FBC, they're throwing every single ability that they have, and they do got him. He's already dead. Dreamcell jumps to the back line, but doesn't actually kill Whitemon here. His combination wasn't quite enough. Now he's been Spirit Vesseled. He does have cheese as well as Manta. Removes the Spirit Vessel, does manage to eat the cheese, and Wavefort's out of the cogs. He's going to be good for now, but they've still lost their Timbersaw, and GeekFam, they're itching for more. They want to be able to take more team fights.
Okay.
Sadly, their initiation from Zephyr, not up until just now. They're going to be able to get the Yule Scepter onto the Ancient Apparition and toss back onto Makoto. That's really big. He pops the BKB, decides it's time to just TP away. No, he cancels it, walks out. GeekFam, they could do this again. They can keep running this back all day. Zephyr is going to be able to get the Avalanche. Spirit Vessel onto Makoto, toss him back once again. The Ice Blast is coming in. Zephyr is going to die for this, but Makoto has been caught, wrangled in. The 2 cores dead from Boom, and let's add a support on top of that.
That's a gem too.
The additional Jubilee cherry on top. A gem for that Ancient Apparition kill. Yes, please. 1 for 3.
Oh, man. Okay, so 2 things to point out there. One, we talked about how Tiny needs to get multiple initiations off. They cannot win with Zephyr just going in and dying.
Yes.
But you saw right there, he was able to get toss combo like 4 times off. And secondly, I thought the only reason FBZ played like that was because he had cheese.
Oh, yeah, he was real.
I am very surprised that he was not the cheese carrier. In fact, they gave it to the Morph, who I don't think is at any risk of dying if he doesn't like mess up terribly.
Let's see that fight again. I mean, that Timbersaw was diving in so aggressively. This latter end of it, them being able to catch. I mean, if Makoto just BKB completed his TP,
he was gone,
and just trust that his allies would get out, they'd be fine.
Somebody must have made the call, or he made the call. A call was made that we can stay and fight. It's 4-on-4.
Like, maybe it was the gem on KezQ? Maybe that was part of the reason they really didn't want to just give up numbers.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear. That's going to be problematic. GeekFam, revitalized in this game. Now back at the helm.
Like, they're in a point where SF feels like he has to go Rapier to win this game. And now he's probably considering his options.
I mean, that, like, he can still go Rapier, but he's in it's not a desperate Rapier.
Yeah.
Right? It's a, let's take Aegis and get a Rapier and go, go, go.
I think Morphling not getting BKB is also kind of game throw, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Manta, you can't just only rely on Manta.
I really don't like this Satanic choice. I would, if he had BKB, he would truly be unkillable and no one could fight him. Satanic feels like he's going like a third right-clicky defensive-ish item as they're going to jump in. All right, Tiny has to stay alive here. Zephyr's actually the most important part of this game.
Zephyr uses himself to be able to dodge the X, but is still caught in a dead end. The Glimmer Cape is trying to protect him right now. In fact, they're going to use the Wukong's command. Zephyr not dead yet until the shotgun comes through, blasts off his head, Makoto has been traded his life for it. This is still fine for Geek. They will certainly take that trade-off, especially as Carl looks to be able to chase down KezQ thanks to the Lich Slow. It's going to be able to catch up to this Ancient Apparition. 1-2. Make it a third raise, and you've got a kill on your hands. But Carl, his BKB is faded low. Now he tries to get off the ultimate, but he won't be able to do so. He chased too far.
He was so far from his
team. Trusted too much in his BKB, and his team wasn't able to back him up. They do have the cogs that pushes Dreamcell, but he's got the level 25. He's got the waveform charges. He'll catch up to Whitemon. He won't be able to catch Cuckoo, though. With the hook shot, he gets away. 3 for 1. Initially, it was 1 for 1. Where they traded Zephyr for the Kunkka, but
Makoto didn't get his BKB off either, right? In that fight, he just got blown up.
He did not.
Oh man, that is so rough. I really feel like this should be okay. I think at that point when Makoto dies, I think this should be GeekFam's fight, and then the SF gets. I can't exaggerate how far away from his team he got. Oh, he got the last hit. They got the last hit on the Roche. But they got so far away.
Well done, Cuckoo. Does he have the level 20 talent?
What was the
for
that was
the
the
damage?
third Roche,
I bet
right?
it was.
What was the drop, by the way?
It was Refresher, not Aghanims.
Okay. The Ags would have been real nice, I think, on like maybe AA or something. Timber. If you feel like you need more damage. We're gonna see right here, like Makoto.
He's caught.
Gets the initiation.
Okay.
All right, and
He
then he walks
survives
in.
long enough that he gets into the Wukong's command. Boom. Trat, Sep, Makoto, he's just going to get chain stunned and killed. Very nicely played out.
Gaze.
Yeah, gaze, hook shot, really well done there. Zephyr tries to go for a toss back, catches a creep instead, and now he's going to be catching a death here. He's going to be forced to buy back. The Rolling Thunder does actually nail the Monkey King, who is still in the trees. ESL is going to use his long-range waveform to just skip over the command ring there.
Oh, man.
And he did not level it up just yet, so that's why it was only a regular circle. That's just going to be a lane of barracks if I don't really think they can take. Oh, okay, they're going to try. They might just be able to burst down ESL. He's trying to morph into strength, and there goes that Satanic, healing himself back up the full. Carl's going to stand and fight where he can, but there's nothing they can do about this morphling unless
I'm gonna need
the
to see
gaze
some
and the
SF
buybacks coming
ults.
out. They do have the fear coming out. That's going to be able to control them, push them back into the cogs. The hook shot goes out as well. All these stuns played nicely by GeekFam, but they didn't have the damage to follow it up. ESL survives through it all, and that, by the way, was just life number 1. They struggled to be able to bring him down and still couldn't do it. How could they possibly manage to do it 2 times, this time with no ultimates? Maybe the Wukong's command can come back up soon. They do actually find a boundless strike.
Getting
He gets a
low-ish.
little bit low with a break mechanic on him. He jumps forward, tries to finish off the Monkey King, but a Glimmer Cape does protect him. Raven's going to be able to get enough time away to jump into the trees, but no. Shot down. ESL finish them off. Tier 3 falling fast, and no buyback from the Monkey King.
Surely
Dead for
this has
2
to be
minutes.
game now.
This is a 3 versus 5. Surely no way out for GeekFam anymore.
All right, this game, though, could have been won by GeekFam. If Carl doesn't get as far as humanly possible, crosses like all sorts of borders.
That's a good ultimate there. It almost killed ESL. They throw the Chain Frost, and that does take away the Aegis. Can they kill anybody else while he's still reviving? Cuckoo stuck inside of his own cogs right now as he's getting nailed by the Chakram, and Makoto swing after swing. It looked a little cool right in the middle of everybody, but at the end of the day, it does not do enough.
We're going to a game 3.
Are going to a game 3.
And I'm sure the panel's super excited about that.